one person speaking on matters of public concern. Wait, I'm sorry.
I said I feel like I didn't.
Better? I am, thank you. Timothy.
Urge.
Special meeting on September 29th, the Mount Vernon City Council to order. We're here to discuss 4 pieces of legislation, 4 resolutions, actually. And Mr. Sherman, please call the roll.
Mrs. Siebel. Mr. Severns.
Here.
Mr. Mahan.
Here.
Mrs. Woods.
Here. Mr. Ruckman.
Here.
Ms. Keener.
Here.
Mrs. Hager.
Here.
We are in session. We're going to go now to the person speaking on matters of public concern. Please come to the podium and state your name and address and limit your comments to 4 minutes.
My name is Jennifer Showman, and I live at,
Excuse me.
Sorry.
You want to excuse Janice?
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Janice be excused. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. She is excused. Jennifer?
sorry, 200 North Edgewood Road. Members of City Council, I am reaching out with some questions and concerns regarding the upcoming readings for the 2 resolutions related to Mount Vernon's electric aggregation. I would like to request greater transparency on Resolution 2599 and clarification on what specific changes were made to address the certain other updates are needed in the electric aggregation plan and operation and governance. Could the city highlight the changes made to the document and share the updated version on the agenda prior to the next council meeting? In reviewing the current document, I took particular note of Section E under miscellaneous governance guidelines, which states, all cost of the aggregation program development and administration will be paid through the inclusion of an adder that will be added to member bills. I understand that the price of electricity per kilowatt will increase once our previous contract expires, and that the new rate has not yet been determined. What I would like to ask is whether City Council has clear projection of the costs associated with the development and administration of this plan. I recognize that the city sees potential benefits in working with brokers such as Palmer Energy Company, but of course that partnership comes with costs. I have not seen these costs clearly addressed, aside from the mention of the adder fee in Section E. While I understand that the city has no control over the broader rise in electric rates we've already seen this year, it would be helpful to have an estimate or at least a clearer explanation of what this additional charge will be. Given that both the future electric rates and the adder fee amounts remain uncertain, I respectfully ask that City Council ensures due diligence is done to guarantee that any negotiated aggregation rate is discounted enough to fully offset the adder fee. Without that assurance, it may not be beneficial for the city to enter into a plan at this time, particularly if we are locking in these rates at minimum for the next year. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. We move now to the legislative portion of the meeting. We have 4 resolutions. The first one is for third reading. That's resolution number 2025-93. Mr. Sherman.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into the City of Mount Vernon Governmental Aggregation Program Participation Agreement for the City of Mount Vernon, Knox County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Ruckman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to adopt resolution number 2025-93.
Second.
Been moved and second for the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion? Mr. Ruckman.
Does anybody have any questions? Does the administration have any remarks?
So to clarify what this piece of legislation is this permits the city to sign with, at the same time, with Fredericktown when we get those RFP results back. We anticipate not changing suppliers. Dynegy is our current supplier. If you were paying attention, Energy Harbor was the supplier. Dynegy purchased Energy Harbor, I believe, in 24, somewhere in there. That has been, across the state, the most competitive supplier right now. And I can go ahead and probably address some questions that you may have regarding Resolution 2025-99 about why there is maybe no supplier listed. Our previous broker put themselves into our contract. We have removed that from there to make this kind of a blank document. That way, every time that we go out with an RFP provided by our consultant, and that's the difference, is we've already engaged Palmer for allowing them to do the RFP for the city. All right, but we have to, with the permission of council, engage that contract, right? So we need the kind of a simultaneous agreement for those rates to be locked in. I used the terminology or a comparison of, you leave for work in the morning, you see the gas price, you come back home, you see a different rate, right? We want to make sure that we're locking in at the same time that Fredericktown is, because that's how this aggregation is going to work. So that's what 2025-93 does, is it permits the administration to lock that rate in.
Mayor, can you clarify something? So it talks about the electrical, but in section 1, it says electricity and natural gas. So is it authorizing you to enter into that
Yeah.
agreement with them for
But
both?
they have not done the gas
Okay.
RFP yet. So
Okay.
right now, I'd say in another 6 months or so, we'll probably start talking about, yeah.
Okay.
But they'll issue the RFP before then. I think we're probably looking at spring for that to be done. But this will allow us to execute when that time comes, and we'll communicate that with council then.
When is Fredericktown?
They will sign on the same day. We probably anticipate early next week sometime.
I was on the radio last Thursday. Someone thought we only do this for electricity. Didn't know we did it for gas. So
Do it for
I
gas as
clarified
well.
that. With a call in. Any other questions? Mr. Sherman?
Mr. Severns,
Yes.
Mr. Mahan,
Yes.
Mrs. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. Ruckman,
Yes.
Ms. Keener,
Yes.
Mrs. Hager.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Now we move to resolutions for second reading. First one is resolution number 2025-96. Mr. Sherman.
A resolution authorizing and directing the auditor of the city of Mount Vernon to pay bills pursuant to section 5705.41D, then and now certification.
Mrs. Woods.
Thank you. I move to suspend the rules requiring 3 separate readings and take Resolution 2025-96 to its third and final reading.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the suspension of the rules. Any discussion on the suspension? Mr. Sherman.
Mr. Severns,
Yes.
Mr. Mahan,
Yes.
Mrs. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. Ruckman,
Yes.
Ms. Keener,
Yes.
Mrs. Hager.
Yes.
Rule is suspended. Mrs. Woods.
Move to adopt Resolution 2025-96.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion?
Mr. Brinkman.
Yes, ma'am. So these are a couple of legal bills. One was concerning ongoing litigation that council has been brought up to speed in executive session, I believe a couple months ago. And then the second had to do with the creation of the NCA, the new TIFs. Both of them, the city had budgeted for legal services. The POs just ran out. They just budget for a certain amount of legal services. They don't really.
So these exceeded the PO, the purchase order?
Yeah, so they
Okay.
just issued new POs to cover it.
There were existing POs at the beginning of the year. This is actually, I think, the third round of POs for both of these. We just continually drag them on, so.
And as I understand it, they're both firms that we work with on an ongoing basis.
The
Any other
beginning,
questions?
the beginning, just so you're aware, at the beginning of the year, there are probably $10,000 to $15,000 worth of blanket POs that were put in place for both of
Probably need to
these.
be tripled.
I know.
So we do have
This
blankets.
is, I would like you to know that this is where the spirit of Tammy Woods comes into my finger, and I cannot bring myself to do
Yeah.
that.
Any other questions? Mr. Sherman.
Mr. Severns,
Yes.
Mr. Mahan,
Yes.
Mrs. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. Ruckman,
Yes.
Ms. Keener,
Yes.
Mrs. Hager.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Now we move to resolution number 2025-99. Mr. Sherman.
A resolution to authorize amendments to the City of Mount Vernon, Knox County, Ohio Electric Aggregation Plan of Operation and Governance and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Ruckman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rule requiring 3 separate readings and move resolution number 2025-99 to its third and final reading.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the suspension of the rules. Any discussion on the suspension? Mr. Sherman.
Mr. Severns,
Yes.
Mr. Mahan.
Yes.
Mrs. Woods.
Yes.
Mr. Ruckman.
Yes.
Ms. Keener.
Yes.
Mrs. Hager.
Yes.
The rule is suspended. Mr. Ruckman.
Yes, I move to adopt resolution number 2025-99.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion? Mr. Ruckman.
Discussion? Yes.
Can I ask a question? Tanner, the section, in the miscellaneous section, so the adder, was that in our last agreement?
This is a standard document that comes to us from the PUCO. And the only edited language that we've discussed is the removal of our prior
Previous,
broker,
yeah.
yeah.
So we
Which
don't
was-
have the prior one, but you think it was probably in the last one if it's
Oh, it
just the
was in
same
the last
statement?
one.
Yeah.
It was in the last
This
one.
That verbiage was?
Yes.
Okay.
It is heavily, heavily regulated by the PUCO. Yeah, so this was not some, quick pass by Palmer or anything like that, and I thank you for bringing that up, and I want everybody to know. And where this kind of comes from too, and I want folks to know if they, if the media's watching and they write a story, or if folks who are living an incredibly exciting life by tuning into this, but if you are, when we get these figures back, and there are folks at, I don't know, Walmart or Kroger or wherever, if they come to your door, which they need a solicitor's permit, by the way, but if they come to you and they say, the city's aggregation is, X cents per kilowatt hour, and we can offer you, half of that per kilowatt hour, you should know that because of that amendment in here, they can do that for 3 months, and then it can, and I don't know, it could be wildly different per provider, but read the fine print, because it could be that way for 2 to 3 months, and then there could be a termination fee because it could jump up to, twice that per kilowatt hour. Or there could be there might be no termination fee, but there could be just an accelerator that, you lose any savings that you signed up for. Ultimately, I want folks to know that the reason the city does this is because the voters chose for us to do this. So we went out and we found the most reputable public aggregator chosen by CCAO and OML. They're in 77 counties, over 400 governments. They are the public aggregator of Ohio. And we found that, it's not because we switched that the rates are going up. It's because the rates are going up. That's why we switched. And we wanted to make sure in an incredibly expensive and volatile market, we are doing everything we can, both now and long-term, to make sure that we protect ratepayers from that volatility. So if you find something that's better than what we can offer, take it. But just make sure that it is what it says it is. So,
And the city couldn't go to PUCO and negotiate an aggregation price. The aggregation price comes from multiple people joined together.
right. And we are stronger together. I'm going to quote Nancy Vale. We are a community together, all right? And if this is why we're doing it this way, so Fredericktown, our 5,700 accounts, eligible accounts, that does not mean that they're all in the aggregation, but if our 5,700 eligible accounts and Fredericktown's, however many, I think it was just over 13, yeah.
1,300.
If they all combine, that's a bigger pie, right? If we get several other communities on board to do this, if villages and townships, if they join up, right now, I know that the state governments have kind of put a cap on the PJM grid, and everybody, don't let them, sell the farm out from under you. Everybody's getting their energy from the same grid, all right? Don't let them blow smoke. So they have capped that capacity at about, 300 and...
300, gosh, I can see the chart.
It's higher, the capacity is still higher, meaning that the rates could continue to go up. All right, but they have kind of capped it out, and PJM knows, and it's the capacity caused by data centers. And I want to say that to say, before you shake your fist at, those daggone, Chat GPT and AI and whatever, this is stuff, if you do a basic Google search, you're using artificial intelligence. If you're on Facebook, everything about Facebook and Meta is artificial intelligence.
Storage in the cloud.
Storage in the cloud. You could go on and on and on. So this is stuff that eventually, these are the growing pains of a market that is good to have in Ohio, right? This is an industry, it's good that we have here, but these are the growing pains of building that infrastructure. So right now, as we build out that electric infrastructure, we are struggling, and people that make much grander decisions than the people in this room need to figure something out. But in the interim, even on this micro scale, if somebody offers you a deal, make sure it's a real deal. Because right now, the best thing that we can do is, obviously there's the energy saving stuff, but this is much higher than anything that swapping out some LED bulbs is going to save, right? And we're all paying this. So right now we are looking long-term at how we can stave this volatility off in the future. And the best way to do that is to use the best, the full force of aggregation. And that's why we went with Palmer. So
If somebody gets one of these deals and they opt out, how, can they opt right back in when the deal's over or not?
21 days, is it?
yeah, well, and even with that gap, we are hesitant to say that because it depends on the deal that they've opted into. You can always get back into the aggregation that the city has, right? However, that is no guarantee on what you've opted into and what the terms are that you've agreed to, right? So
They need to know that.
Yes, buyer beware. Go ahead.
I was just going to also add, if I may, one of the biggest complaints that we have had in our aggregation program is when you call to opt out or to opt in, the customer service has not been there, or it's been by someone who doesn't call you back, or it's been by someone who very clearly does not speak English very well. And so I'm not saying that to sound any derogatory. It's just a reality of trying to conduct business
They
with
offshore
they offshore the helpline. And so when you call Palmer, you're calling and talking to someone in Toledo. So that's one of the things that they've got the support structure in place, the communication infrastructure in place, which was also a very attractive part of why we wanted to go with Palmer in this case.
That's good to hear. I mean, I opted in a few years ago, and I was told it would probably take a good 30 minutes, and it did. And I'm like, how can this take 30 minutes for me? But who knows? They got it done, but it was not easy. I hope that it becomes easier. Maybe it will. I mean, it just seems to me like I can give you my name and my address and whatever else you have to know to verify that it's me, and get this done. But it is, it was not quick.
Energy.
But it does save money. But it was not quick and easy.
And energy aggregation, I'm sorry, Councilman. Energy aggregation is one of the most frequent calls that my office receives. And so with what we expect with the new consultant here is that they're going to take a lot of those questions off of our plate. We'll still be ready, but at the same time, that customer service factor was sort of the X factor for us.
It's almost like you can save money, but they really don't want you to, because they're just going to leave you on the line forever until you just hang up. It was not fun, but I got through it.
We do distinguish between Palmer, our consultant, and whoever the supplier is too.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we're not in, and that I can understand why people are so frustrated, how convoluted and complex this is. So whoever we choose as our supplier, and if you end up on the phone with him, we're not in control of that. However, a big reason we went with Palmer was because they brought the customer component and the communications piece that was missing with our previous broker, and that was kind of the icing on the cake. Biggest drawback, of course, being that they're almost in Toledo, and that's almost Michigan. So, but we'll forgive them.
Any other questions from council?
I did have somebody reach out and ask when this was voted on. And that was, I was just going to point out that it is in the resolution. It spells out November 8th, 2011. A majority of the voters in various communities in the city of Mount Vernon, Knox County, Ohio, approved a referendum that approved the formation of an opt-out governmental aggregation program.
Any other questions? Mr. Sherman?
Mr. Severns.
Yes.
Mr. Mahan.
Yes.
Mrs. Woods.
Yes.
Mr. Ruckman.
Yes.
Ms. Keener.
Yes.
Mrs. Hager.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. The final resolution for this evening is resolution number 2025-100. Mr. Sherman.
A resolution authorizing and directing the Safety Service Director of the City of Mount Vernon, Ohio, to enter into contract with Road to Finish LLC and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Severns.
Yes, I move to suspend the rule requiring 3 separate readings and take Resolution 2025-100 to its third and final reading.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the suspension of the rules. Any discussion on the suspension? Mr. Sherman.
Mr. Severns.
Yes.
Mr. Mahan.
Yes.
Mrs. Woods.
Yes.
Mr. Ruckman.
Yes.
Ms. Keener.
Yes.
Mrs. Hager.
Yes.
The rule is suspended. Mr. Severns.
Yes, I move to adopt Resolution 2025-100.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Tanner.
Well, I will invite Mr. Platt up to the
You got to put your hat on. or
Beat down
We don't
by-
know that you're from the engineering department.
who even is this guy?
Yeah, I did introduce myself last time, just in case. So Road to Finish is a consultant of ours. They do construction inspection for us. They're able to be on the ground during construction projects 100% of the time. They provide daily reports for that. So they're kind of like a surge mechanism for us. When we have projects going on that are more than what we can handle in-house, we're able to contract with them, and they can help fill that load. So a lot of construction projects, one week they could be working 50 hours a week, and the next week they could be doing nothing. So when the weather's good, everybody's building, right? So this service is really vital to us. This company currently is working on 2 big projects. They're working on the Mansfield Avenue Shared Use Path, and they also have a contractor on site for the Liberty Crossing development. They're putting in the water lines and storm sewers and sanitary sewers. So we need somebody on site inspecting that, making sure it's done to the city standards, and then following up with us and reaching out to us if they see anything that doesn't seem quite right. So I think we've just basically hit our $75,000 limit with the contract that we have. And so at this point, we need permission from you all to continue that contract. If we were to bring somebody else on, they'd have to relearn these projects, and we'd have to get to know them as well and kind of reintroduce them to everything. It'd be a lot easier just to keep going with the current contractor that we have to finish out these projects. So we've got another maybe 2 months left of good construction weather at best. So we'll need enough to at least keep it going through that.
Any other questions, council? Mr. Sherman.
Mr. Severns.
Yes.
Mr. Mahan.
Yes.
Mrs. Woods.
Yes.
Mr. Ruckman.
Yes.
Ms. Keener.
Yes.
Mrs. Hager.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted. That concludes the legislative portion of the meeting. I'm going to suspend the remarks for this evening for this abbreviated special meeting, and I'm going to call for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
Candace isn't here.